Hey there, beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to the 10 joys of Christmas. And today we're just going to talk a little bit. We're going to talk about loneliness around the holidays. So for a lot of us, the holidays can really be a time of joy. It can be a happy time. But for a lot of people, the holidays can also be lonely. So I'm going to share my personal tips on combating loneliness during the holidays. And these tips might be for you or for somebody that you know. So if you want to know my tips and how I have dealt with loneliness during the holidays in the past, stay tuned. So the reason why I personally wanted to make this video is because, the holidays are like crazy. It's a crazy time of the year. Everybody's busy, getting ready for Christmas, getting ready for New Year's. A lot of you know my backstory, but most of you don't. I don't live in America. I am currently living in the Netherlands, but I am Surinamese, which means I am from a country in Suriname, and I came to Holland when I was 18. I came to study. So the majority of my family, including my parents, still live in Suriname. I have a brother here. Some years he would go to Suriname for Christmas. Other years he would be here, but he would be in the exact same boat. Really just missing our parents, missing the family feeling that we used to have. So for me, since I came to Holland, I kind of got used to like feeling really lonely around the holidays. So it did get better at a certain point. After a few years since I moved here, I met my husband, my now husband, my then boyfriend, and things did get better. I did really miss my parents. And of course, it doesn't really erase the feeling completely, but it got better. But I remember 1 year before I met him, that was seriously one of the loneliest years of my life. I had no friends. I had just gotten out of a like heartbreak, and I actually had nobody around the holidays. And honestly, I can look back on that Christmas and I can say that I was really proud of myself, because, and that sounds weird, right? There were some things that I did looking back now where I'm like, I was really lonely. I was heartbroken that year, but those things that I did really, they helped me. I was still lonely and I was still going through it, but it really did help. So that's another reason why I'm making this video. Some tips that I have now, I went through them myself. I did those things myself, but there are other tips that I wish I did. I wish I could go back to, Minerva from a few years ago and I could tell her, hey, try this and this and this. So that's why I'm making this video. So I'm not gonna talk too much. Let's just go to the tips. So my first tip to really combat loneliness is to get your mind right. Because honestly, the battle is all in your head. When people feel lonely, it's because they feel like they don't have something that they should have. And maybe, in some instances, they don't have that thing, They feel like they don't have family. And in some instances, they don't. Or they don't have a relationship and they feel like they should have a relationship at their age or their status or whatever. It's all a battle in the mind. And I think the worst thing about loneliness is that it's kind of like a jail cell in your mind. So my first advice would be get your mind right. Surround yourself with positive. If you have positive people around you, surround yourself with positive people. If you don't, surround yourself with positive things. Listen to positive things, podcasts, read books, Constantly speak positive things over yourself even if you don't believe it yet. So get your mind right. Go for a walk. I'm speaking from experience. Okay, if you're lonely, if you're down, if you're in the same space like all day, it's gonna take a toll on your mind. So go for a walk, get your head out of that same space and just speak positive things over yourself. Skip negative people. especially around this time of the year. If you have people around you who constantly remind you, oh, but you were supposed to have this, like, why you ain't got a man? Why can't you keep a man? Oh, you gonna start 2018 single? Skip those people, okay? So I would say skip them forever, but if you can't skip them forever, at least skip them for this period, because you don't need negativity around you right now. You don't need people to dig that hole of loneliness even deeper for yourself. And my second tip is like really important. Treat yourself, okay? Treat yourself. And you know, that could be as simple as buying yourself a gift, taking yourself to go shopping, buying yourself something nice. You can get yourself something that you like to eat. And I know that there's a really fine line between what I'm saying now, because I'm not saying to fill the void that you feel, to fill it with food or shopping or materialistic stuff. But what I'm saying is just see it as it is. See it as a symbol. If you love to go to a movie, take yourself to the movies because you love it. At the end of the day, you're worth it, and you really do have to make yourself happy. You can't place the responsibility on someone else to make you happy, because at the end of the day, if all else would fail, you have God and you have you. So you do have to take responsibility on treating yourself well, because you're gonna be with yourself for the rest of your life. So treat yourself nicely. Say nice things to yourself. You know, if you want to go shopping, go shopping. If you want to go to a restaurant and you feel like you don't have anyone to go to that restaurant. And of course, it might feel awkward, but you decide if it's awkward or not. You know, treat yourself. If you have the means, buy yourself a gift. Talk to yourself more often and say nice things. So treat yourself kindly. Treat yourself with respect. Because at the end of the day, you are gonna be with you. So my next tip is a very practical tip. The first few tips were kind of based on your mind and how you feel. But my third tip is really practical. Join communities. If you have a talent, if you like to sing, you know, join a club where they do that, where you can find people with the same interests as you have. So if they're closed for Christmas break, another thing that I can say in joining communities, volunteer. Volunteer at a church. Volunteer at a community center. You know, helping others is so powerful. So let's say you volunteer at a homeless shelter. You know, it works in so many ways, because first of all, you get to meet people. You're not going to be volunteering alone. Other people are going to be volunteering as well. So be open, socialize with the people in the organization who are volunteering as well. Second of all, volunteering puts stuff in perspective. You might be feeling lonely because you don't have family members, right? And that is a real loss, you know. But if you volunteer, let's say you volunteer at a homeless shelter and you see a family who's homeless, I feel like it puts things in perspective, because this family could have something that you don't have, and that's family, right? Family members, people around you. But they do have a family, but they're homeless. So you might feel like, okay, I don't have my family members anymore, but you have a roof above your head. You are healthy, you know. So I'm not saying it compare yourself to make yourself feel better. I'm saying see it for what it is. You have your struggle and they have their struggle, but they also have their blessing. And their blessing might be that they have their family, they have their community. You also have your blessing. So I feel like if you get out of your world and you see other people who, you know, in a different situation, you see that they have their struggles, but they have their blessings as well. And same goes for you. Try to find your blessing. And I think the last way that volunteering is really powerful and can be really powerful, you're getting yourself out of a negative headspace where you were focused on a lack that you had. You now take yourself out of the space of lack and you focus on being a blessing to someone else. I can tell you, if you do that, it has to turn around. My fourth tip is, once again, very, very practical, and that would be create a project for yourself. And I'm gonna give an example. Remember the year that I talked about where I was really lonely? One of the things that really helped me around Christmas time was that I had a project for myself. My parents were in Suriname, my friends, my best friend lived in Suriname. So what I did, this was so funny. This is even before YouTube. I vlogged my Christmas experience. And I made a vlog for them. I kind of made like a homemade TV show. I had like different segments, and that was my project during the holidays. And I would say the same to you. Pick something that you like doing and give yourself a goal. Like, this is what I'm gonna be doing around Christmas, around New Year's. My last tip, focus on gratefulness. Focus on thankfulness. And this is super hard, but if you can do that, I feel like not only around the holidays, not only with this, you are going to be so much happier as a person. When you're feeling lonely, you're focused on what you don't have. When you're thankful, when you're focused on gratefulness, you focus on what you do have. So I don't want you to be delusional, of course, but I'm never gonna say like the loss that you feel is not real or it is not important. But like I said with volunteering, everybody has their struggle, but then they have their blessings as well. So with thankfulness, focus on your blessings, because everything that you focus on will multiply. So if you focus on the feeling that you have of loneliness, that is gonna multiply. If you focus on what you do have, those feelings are gonna multiply. So I think that would be my greatest tip. Focus on what you do have. Write down what you do have, because when you're feeling lonely, when you're feeling like really like, why me? Why don't I have anything? Why don't I have anybody? Really focus on thankfulness. Focus on what you do have, because the moment that you get yourself out of that negative headspace, you're gonna have more energy to go out, meet new people, surround yourself with positive people, and to just be a better you. So those were my tips. And guys, I'm not a professional. I just like talking and I like thinking about stuff, and this is something that I've dealt with in the past. So I was like, you know what? With these videos for Christmas, I felt like I wouldn't be real. I wouldn't be me if I didn't do a video like this. So I hope that this helps. I hope that it helps maybe you or someone that you know. Leave a comment, please. Have you dealt with loneliness around the holidays? Is that something that you're going through now, that you've dealt with in the past? Let me know. I would love to know. I would love to talk in the comments. You might be going through a rough patch now, but it is gonna get better. And at the end of the day, it's super important that during this time, you learn to be nice to you. If you enjoyed this video, if this video was helpful, give it a thumbs up. Please, I would like to know what you guys think of these videos. If you're not already subscribed, please do. We're still in the 10 joys of Christmas. And ring the notification bell. And then every time I upload a new video, you're gonna know. And we're gonna be a little bit of family, We're gonna be a little family, That'll be nice. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful day. You wonderful human being. Bye.